Here we go. One more time. Here comes Paul Beasley connecting to audio.
Hi, Babs. We got it now.
Good
Internet is tough
morning.
here because we're out at the edge of Boulevard here. And I'm here with three gentlemen. I'm going to see if I can get you right side up. You looking good? I'd like to say good morning to the crew from Emerge in Kimberly Park.
Good morning. Good morning.
You know,
Good
Babs, we're all
morning.
guys. Will, Drew, Giovanni. And we also got Chris here with URL. And URI, excuse me. We got the URL. What are you folks doing here? What's the word on the street?
We're sprucing. We're taking care of the neighborhood as of today. We're sprucing the trees in the tree line, as well as the gates around the park. We have a vast area of land.
Which I just learned, listen to you guys, is a cricket field as well as a baseball field. You will play cricket? You know about cricket? How did you get into cricket, man?
Back home in Jamaica, I played cricket.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
All right.
This is true.
And Drew, how did you know this was a cricket field? What was the telltale?
I just see the patch, and I know that the size of the patch is a cricket patch.
Oh, okay. But they also play baseball here at the other end, right?
It's a difference. Baseball's got a diamond, so that's the difference between a patch and a baseball.
Who knew cricket at Kimberly Square? But now trees, it's cold out, beginning of February. So right now, people don't usually think about trees, but what have you been doing to each tree? You putting a little tape around it?
Yes, because those are the live trees. Those are the ones that still have life in them. So our coordinator Chris here goes around, puts the pink ribbons on the trees, and we come around the tree area, spruce it up, prune it.
What does it mean to spruce it up?
Well, we cut off the vines, or we'll clip the vines with the loppers.
And these are vines that go around trees, and that strangles them, right? They can't get as much air and water. Is that right? Do I have that right?
Yes, sir. Right.
It's air and water they take?
Yes,
Okay.
Sir. As well as pruning, which is cutting off the dead excess branches that.
And how can you tell this time of year when there are no leaves which ones are dead?
What's good to tell? Look at the tree.
Will, we interview every few months here. He's always running the crew.
I'm along with the Merge guys on staff. Usually you can tell the trees what's dead. You go around, you look at it, most could tell. When he was talking about sprucing them up, I mean, cleaning around them, cutting the vines off. You know that in the trees, sometimes the vines break the branches, pull them down, strangle them. We out here right now, trying to start keeping all the vines, around them. So they go, even survive rate a little better, survive better. Debris and stuff like that. Like sometimes we go around, there's be a lot of debris in the area, so we try to
people dunk the trash
right.
here.
You look right over there, you can see some guys doing some work right now as well. The fence line.
And what are they doing on the fence line?
They're cutting all the vines off the fence line, because the vines they go up on the trees and they choke the tree a lot. So we're just trying.
Now, why February, guys? Why are we doing this in February?
It's a good time to do it, right?
Work all year round, and the idea is that there's no birds nesting in the trees, so it's the perfect time to get out and save those trees.
What are you doing when there are birds?
When there's birds out, we're planting the trees, usually on the streets, and then we do the green space work in the summertime. So we're trying to keep the guys from Emerge employed year round.
And what about the park? So they're fixing up this park.
Yeah, we are. So the idea is, so we have a state grant that we're waiting on, and then the city has their contribution. And so the idea is that we're going to be replacing the fences adjacent to the neighbors that have, this park's been long neglected. And we'll put in a trail that connects the school towards the waterfront, and then plant screening trees all the way around it.
Are you going to plant trees on the trail? Where's the trail going to go? In the middle?
It's going to go through all those apartment houses over there.
Yeah, the container
They all
ships.
need screening, but this is a really important migratory bird area. And so what we're trying to do is connect kids with nature, but also have places to play, like play in the woods.
And what role do the trees play with the migratory birds?
So both from a habitat standpoint, from nesting, foraging in the wintertime, but like in the morning when the light's coming in on the east side, that's where the birds want to rest. They fly all night, they need a place to rest. And so this is a great location to get more trees.
What kind of trees are there around the line here, Chris?
So we got a lot of oak trees. We have some sweet gum, those are the ones with the gumball trees all throughout here. And we have, mostly it's oaks in through here. We have a couple pines, a couple red pines, which is kind of neat. So we're going to be bringing in a lot more evergreen in here.
And
too.
where's that path gonna be?
It's going to go from this entrance over here by
Uh-huh.
Kimberly right across. There's a footpath, a muddy footpath.
And there's gonna be trees there.
And so we're going to have trees between the path and the residential property because
Wonderful.
residents are saying, hey, we don't want noise. We don't, we don't like the activity that's happened in the park. So we want to do some
So
screening.
trees do a lot.
They do.
Let me ask the gentleman from Emerge again, what do you guys think about trees? Like you were talking about coming from Jamaica, Drew.
Yes, well,
What-
I've been working with URI for some time now, and I've done plant, like, maybe we planted from Emerge about 5,000 trees.
5,000. Now I know,
my
Mr.
God.
Tisdale, how long you been running crews at Emerge?
5.5 years now.
All right, so that's a full-time job for you, run the crews. And you largely, I've seen you out in all the neighborhoods planting trees. What do you think that does for the city? Do you feel good when you plant a tree? Do you come back and look at it?
Well, for me, I like to be honest, for me, it's about giving back. You know what I'm saying? Tree make a difference. Tree make a lot of difference. Like, a lot of people complain about them. So I always say, the good always outweigh the bad. Yes, a lot of leaves, get branches in the drain, the sewer. But also, I always tell them, what's your table made out of? What's your bed made out of? What's your counter made out of? So it's a lot of good things that outweigh the bad things. Trees are beautiful. Like I said, they make a difference. Springtime, different colors.
And think about it here, we're at the park and you got the highway right there. I can imagine it's kind of nice when the trees are blooming. You're not just looking,
Right.
breathing the air from the diesel.
And then the oxygen, you know what trees does with oxygen, you know what I mean? It helps the environment, you know what I mean? So
Cleans the air.
it's just clean the air and it's just something we like to do, you know what I mean? And that's.
How about you, Javon? Do you remember anything being a kid with trees?
Well, I've planted about 300 plus trees myself with URI a couple years ago. So, and I actually found it to be because I don't learn so much during that time. You know, I found it kind of intriguing. You know, what you learn about trees and how much of an asset a tree can be to your life. You know what I mean? And as well as the community. But I look at this project right here as a big meaningful project just for the community itself over here in this area, because it's like this park hasn't really been, occupied.
Right. And look at all this land. And this is like
and I
right
just
in the
got done
neighborhood.
telling my supervisor when you come up, I'm like, this is really a big field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like.
Well, we went to the meetings. I know, as Chris pointed out, some of the neighbors don't want noise, but other people say we need places to play. We need
Just
nice
imagine,
green
like,
spaces.
Just imagine, how it could look after, the finished business is done here. Once URI is done planting their trees, making their pathway, putting up. I'm thinking about a whole park over here that, the city may put up for kids, even though it's so much fun to move on, but that we're gonna go through later on down the road. It's just about giving back to the community. It's big for me, you know what I mean? Because it's like a lot of people come from nothing, you know what I mean, and have nothing. So something so small as cleaning up this area can go so far. especially
Yeah.
for school. You know
That's
what I
right,
mean?
right there, Betsy Ross. Babs, do you have questions for the Emerge crew?
So when you think about trees, is this a career path for you to be in this business of taking
He says
care
it's a
of?
career path because Emerge, part of things, Emerge for ex-offenders. You get some skills coming out. You
Yes.
see here that Wayne's been here for
Yes,
years.
yes.
What,
You know why? Because
Is this
I
career
can
path?
I can teach the knowledge to the next set of guys.
Like, could you see yourself for 30 years getting up 5 days a week and working on trees, working on landscape?
I did it for I enjoyed the first 300 plus trees, so I wouldn't see myself not enjoying it.
The next 3,000.
Yes, sir.
So you can see it honestly as a career path.
Yes.
And what do you feel like at the end of the day when you go home after working on trees all day?
Well, from my experience behind it,
Woo!
I'm just exhausted, but it's a good exhaustion.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean, I tell my lady, I'm tired. Can you rub my shoulders? Rub my back. I run backwards. After, I done did Boswell's. I done buy with the URI. So it's like I know a certain amount. And it's just like, I enjoy myself. When I do get the chance to come out here and work with them, I enjoy myself.
Babs, any other questions for the Emerge crew? We let them go back saving the trees in Kimberly Park.
No, I think is this a good day? Is the weather perfect for what you're doing today?
Tell me now, you're from Jamaica, so you
Yes,
know warm weather.
Yes, I know warm weather, but I mean, the weather is kind of nice out today. You know what I mean? We just warm. We have our gloves on. You know what I mean? We got on layers under our clothes. We have our boots on.
So did you do this? I did something to psych myself out. It was so cold on the weekend.
Right. But
And
yeah,
I told myself, I get on my, I said, I'm gonna get my bike Monday morning because it's not gonna be it's not gonna be -5.
right.
So all of a
exactly.
sudden, a day that otherwise was cold felt warmer to me. Did that happen to you too?
Yes.
Or you think in Jamaica, it's not like Jamaica?
It's not like Jamaica. Different climate.
Different climate. Anything else, Babs? We're gonna let him go back.
No, thank you very much. Thank you for taking care of the trees.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a nice day as well.
Well, thanks, Babs. This is Paul and the Emerge crew for Love Babs Love Talk at WNHH-FM, New Haven's home for community radio.
I learned something about trees. I'm so glad that there are people out there that tend to them. And I love the fact that they actually like doing it. So, and I've not been to Kimberly Park in forever and a day. So next time I drive by, I'll think about those trees.